Hi, I'm Astrologer Val Evans, and thanks for watching Astrology and Crime. Amber with Taurus Moon Tarot joins me to find clues in the disappearance of 30-year-old Hannah Kobayashi, who was traveling from Maui to New York City on November 8th. Due to a tight layover, she missed her plane out of LAX that was headed for New York. It is said that she was traveling with a partner and they decided to go their separate ways on the trip. He landed in New York on the 8th and has been cooperative with the police, according to the family. Kobayashi was last seen on November 11th when she returned to the airport to book another ticket, but could not find a direct flight, and that seemed to frustrate her. She was seen on CCTV that day with an unidentified person. Her family has been proactive in trying to get answers and tells the news media that texts from Hannah may not have come from her and didn't sound like her. Her father, in an effort to find her, tragically died of suicide on November 24th after he landed in LA to look for his estranged daughter. His family believes that he couldn't deal with the overwhelming grief of losing her. A special thanks to the valedictorians and to Angel, who is moderating tonight. The valedictorians are the members who make these shows possible. And thanks for hitting the like button and the subscribe button. Amber and I are live every Friday, so I hope you can join us this Friday at 4:30 Eastern and 9:30 p.m. BST. Hi, Amber.
Hi, how are you? Good evening.
Wow, what a case. And you were at least location-wise close to the case.
Yeah,
What were your first impressions? And tell us,
yeah.
you've had any kind of revelations?
Well, I did become aware of this case just based on where I am in relationship to LA and some Facebook posts that I saw locally in my community were saying that they had their friends, this is a friend of theirs. So they were wanting to share the information and get it into our local community. So I was
Mhm,
paying attention. I have
mhm.
some chills right now. Um,
I bet.
there's lots coming through, but I was at the airport. I was at LAX on the 24th when her father, I just learned this today, was discovered, which was just unnerving. I was there
That's
offsite in a parking lot dropping, yeah, people off. So,
That is crazy, and it just I mean, everybody, it seems they're going to the airport, they're traveling a lot, this was apparently a trip where Hannah wanted to it was a bucket list, she wanted to go to New York City probably for the holidays to visit her aunt, she was super excited, so
oh,
it's something we can all relate to, and here you are, traveling, you're
yes,
actually in the airport
yes.
on the day, and
On the
did you
24th.
s yeah, the 24th. Did you see anything or,
It's funny. I was actually parked just outside of the airport waiting for my family to take off. I was sort of monitoring the flight from my car and I was on the phone with a friend and I was
Mhm.
not in a great location and I sort of got a little bit spooked based on where I was parked. So I
Okay.
moved my car to a busier location where it was not as isolated because it was starting to get dark, but
Mm.
yeah, I didn't have a great feeling. The flight of my family was delayed and it was just a little chaotic, but, um,
Yeah,
I learned
retrograde.
today, this morning, about her dad, which is tragic, like, on top of tragedy.
I know. People just aren't thinking correctly, they're overwhelmed,
Yeah.
it's awful for the family. So what we're gonna do tonight is we're going to talk about the astrology, forensic astrology, and we're gonna look at the tarot cards, see if we can get any kind of idea of where Hannah went and what actually happened. We also have some astrologers and psychics in the chat so they can help us. On Friday, we are talking about King Charles and Prince William. Here is a image on what we look for when we're talking about forensic astrology. And one thing I'm noticing in these charts are the ninth house, lots of ninth house, which we see in some, not really related cases, but as an example, the Delphi case.
Mhm.
Ninth house, what was a big clue was bridge. So it was a major subject.
Yeah.
The perp was called Bridge Guy. So I'm
Yes.
a lot of ninth here. You're also going to see ninth when you're talking about universities, schools, and long distance travel.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so that's something to keep in mind. We're going to look at the first house for the victim. We're going to look at the crime profile, which is Aquarius in one of the charts. So shows potentially, I mean, honestly, Aquarius can mean an ex. And so that's why it's kind of confusing, because it seems like the person that she is letting go of during this trip, he's fine. He's in New York City, he's like, I cooperated. So is this another person that she might consider a partner?
Yeah.
So I'm seeing that. So here is the crime chart. And I think everybody, I mean, if you can't see it, it's okay, because I'm going to zoom in a second. But this is when she goes back to the airport. So what had happened is it was a tight time frame. She couldn't make that first flight, but instead of coming back, maybe she was trying to make the most of California because she was near the Grove. You know the Grove more than I do. Is that a place where tourists like to go? Or
It is.
yeah.
Yeah. It's lots of shopping and restaurants. And certainly this time of year, there's lots of lights. And yeah, it's a
Yeah.
destination spot.
Right. And, I think she was even in a video that was filmed, and it was featured on Facebook, just a general Grove type of promo, which is kind of crazy. So definitely shows, with all this Pisces in this chart, that she's on video in a number of different ways. And one is CCTV and one is, the Grove. I think she's in a couple of CCTV videos.
Yeah.
Now she comes back 2 days later, but yet there isn't really communication that her family's comfortable with. They're like, "Are you here yet?" And she's like, Not yet." So it's hard to understand what is going on between November 8th and November 11th. What was going on? What was going on in her head?
Well, the first card I pulled earlier today before we were together was that Nine of Swords, which is about mental health. Like there's crisis here. And part of me started thinking about the word brainwashing. And it's a little bit in nine for ninth house for sure. We could see that too. But it's something that is highly it is an ex. King of Cups in reverse. I was thinking, what is on her mind? It's a man, is what she's thinking about. Justice. Libra. Ooh. This is like stalker energy. Someone being chased, someone chasing, someone following behind, a couple steps behind quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that there might have been courts involved. I know ninth house is also court. And with justice, is there restraining orders? There have been some kind of history of something that she was involved in.
Now, in this chart, this is November 11th. So this is the second chart. The first chart I did, which I'm going to show in a second, is November 8th when she comes in. But interesting how around the time that she is at the desk, she is, it's Algol territory. The ascendant is right at the end of Taurus, which is a very evil degree. Now, Uranus means to change. So that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to change something, which is her flight. But she's having problems because they just can't find one. And she's probably frustrated about that. Now, Jupiter usually represents a significant other, and it's retrograde. It's in Gemini, meaning that maybe her partner or a former partner is going to be talking. I don't know if he's obviously going to be communicating with police and the family, but it can also show that there is some kind of a twin effect. And so that being the case, we could, as an example, her ex that she just broke off from is named Jim, but she's also talking to another Jim. So there's a possibility that there is more than one partner involved, and that maybe one is innocent and the other one isn't. So,
Right.
sometimes single women, when they're in a new area and they just
Yeah.
broke up with somebody, they're like, well, let me get on Tinder or whatever they're using now
Yeah.
in that city to see, maybe there's some California boys that I would want to talk to or whatever,
Yeah.
go out with. So maybe a possibility there. This is at this point 5 p.m. November 11th. I don't know the exact time, but it was between 4:30 and 6, I think they said. Venus in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn in a square means to really slow down.
Hmm.
I think, yeah, this is somebody in the ninth house up here. Okay, this is what's weird. You want to look at who has a strategy. That's this guy, okay? And you can see that he does because you can add it with a blue line, you add Black Moon Lilith here. This is somebody with a strategy.
This, as you're talking, this Knight of Swords is the Gemini card. And with the King of Cups, this is someone emotionally manipulative and strategize. This is a strategy card as well, win at all cost. So I'm not sure. I want to find out who is Black Moon Lilith. That would be my question. And I did pull one other card earlier, Ace of Wands, which is the sex card. This is, a one-night stand or something very hot and passionate for the moment.
Okay.
Ace of Wands.
Black Moon Lilith at 15 degrees, that's an assassin. It's also in the sixth house, which can be, like you said, a stalker.
Who it is the Knight of Wands, which is the player card. This is the situationship person. This could represent Tinder in the deck.
That is amazing. So, and obviously the police are going to be on it. So many people are stupid going online. They think that nobody's going to check the digital footprint of the victim.
Yeah.
And I think that this can be solved. I think she can be found, and I think the perp can be caught. And I wonder if you could tell us, is this perpetrator going?
I actually believe yes. And I had multiple things coming through with regard to like a straight line to this person. Multiple things. One being this Ace of Wands, that is the appearance of a straight line. Then I actually had my sage and it started burning in this perfect singular straight line all the way up, which is odd. It didn't, move. It just had this very straight line, which is why I asked you if there were oppositions on the chart with a straight line. So it's like the perp could be just straight ahead is what I was thinking.
Definitely. Yeah, we see that with multiple charts.
Yeah, and the Seven of Wands in reverse is like they will be caught. They let their guard down. Someone will let their guard down, and that will be their demise.
Okay. Because I see so much kind of like alcohol and drugs,
Yeah.
you're not talking about a person that is going to be really thoughtful about what they say and their tracks, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. So now the opposition on this chart is Uranus opposing the sun. And whenever you get an opposition, and it has to do with, Scorpio, it's usually like a betrayal or jealousy or could be something that has to, it is a murderous energy.
Mhm.
And it's like a strike. And
Yeah.
so with that being said, it's funny because Uranus is really playing out in this case because Uranus is a plane. Uranus is suicide. Uranus is to change. We're getting all of the Uranian energy here. And yet with that opposition to Scorpio, that adds Scorpio in with this, which is like a sting, a strike. It's weird because we always have to remember that the ascendant means a name.
Right.
And you could maybe, this is a silly example, but you could add Scorpio to the name because it's connected there. So like Elvis used to be called Elvis the Pelvis, Pelvis is Scorpio. And so he had Scorpio in his chart. Now in this kind of chart,
Right.
it could
Oh,
be
yeah,
something that is kind of like sexual related, or, you know,
yeah,
it's like Jeremy Bush, you know, something like that, where
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
some kind of connotation of a body part,
right.
or that kind of thing. So there, that could be the name of something.
Mm,
Um, now could be the name of where she's going, but
mhm,
let me just make a few more notes here.
mm,
Yeah, so much Libra. This is like a bad relationship,
mhm,
of some sort. Somebody in the mix is trying to get out of a bad relationship. This could be somebody who is like, as an example, she meets up with somebody who is has a failed relationship. You could
mhm,
see that part of fortune means to have success, but you have a square,
yeah,
which means no success. No success at a relationship. Also with Scorpio, there could be some motive with the victim that,
mm,
you know what, I think I'm just gonna, you know, maybe I'll meet up with somebody and then I'll make the other guy, the other Jim jealous, or whatever his name is, right?
right.
So there could be that factor of, which is a natural thing, you know, if you get into this heated breakup, you know, all of a sudden you want to say, you know, I want him back. I want to get him jealous. Should we ask something like that? Maybe what she's trying to do at this point around November 11th, she's trying to change her flight. She's thinking about her family. But at
Yeah.
the same time, is she trying to make her boyfriend, who she just broke up with, jealous?
Ah, okay, let's see. The Tower. I'd say in this context, that's a yes to the yes no question.
Whoa.
And it's Mars energy,
Mhm.
you know? Mm. There's an element, oh, yes. Like how I don't want to be single. I am not a victim. You are not. That this is sort of a victim mentality. Someone is sort of in that victim mentality. And this is, not wanting to disconnect from a partnership and not wanting to be on their own or single or independent. It's codependent and victim. It's kind of a scenario like that.
Okay. So this is really in the background of what is happening with this mystery, is just a bad relationship
Yeah.
issue. It's around the holidays, everything, especially with Mercury retro shade
Mhm.
happening. Your mind is thinking about the past too much. You're making decisions that are not either
Yeah.
appropriate, or just plain wrong. And so imagine, and this is one thing I tell a lot of people,
Yeah.
please do not get online if you're looking for someone during
Yeah.
Jupiter retrograde, because you're going to find a bad guy. He's not going to be good. He'll be
Yeah.
flawed. You don't want to meet someone during Mercury retrograde. Thank you, Buckeye Clay
I
fan.
This is another on the underneath of everything. This Two of Swords reversed is like unblocking someone. Like this is going from no contact to contact.
Oh, so maybe somebody that she
So maybe
knew.
there was communication opened up on her end that maybe hadn't been there before.
Okay, wow. Okay. Uh, yes, Teresa, you heard about the father in California. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. And if you're just joining us, Amber and I, we are looking at clues for Hannah Kobayashi. She went missing, and she's been missing since November 8th. And I don't like those dates, the 8th, the 13th.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes even the 20th. That's a Scorpio number.
Yeah.
Nora knows all about that. She's our numerologist. 1111, always a weird date. A lot of people like 1111, but that's a Uranus type of
Yeah.
energy, I think. Yeah, Sweetly Morbid Bear, Mercury retro has already been intense. I agree. There has been some Saturnian energy that I don't know about you guys, but I felt like this day lasted like 3 days. Like I looked at the clock, it felt like 6
Yes.
and it was 2, you know?
Yes.
So weird.
Oh, joy. Yeah.
It was so long. So, uh Yes, we were going to get to that too. Buckeye Clay fan. There was some talk about involvement with a cult. And yeah, that was circulating online. The
Hmm.
11th house. 11th house is what social media is basically communicating, and ample spark. Not sure if everyone heard this, but she paid a scam tarot reader, part of a cult, on Insta in LA via Venmo. The rumor is he is the guy she's seen with on the train. Just a rumor, though. How about that? So
Wow.
we could look at a tarot reader. I would say probably, you have Neptune and the moon, and they're conjunct in this chart. So would might be able to give us a clue. Yes, I know. Angel, you said you felt pretty blue this morning, unfortunately, but I meditated through it. That's good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's really tough right now. Okay, so
Hmm.
again, this is November 11th. Here is the moon and Neptune. This is a psychic right here. But the
Wow.
problem is that we've got North Node here, and that's kind of like somebody who isn't who they say they are. It's fake. This is a fake Neptune, or I'm sorry, North Node, and conjunct Neptune Moon. This is a fake psychic. You see, and I hate to go back to Meghan Markle, but in her birth chart, she has North Node in her first house, in Leo. And so a lot of people think that she's like the fake royal, but she's not. She's supposed to be. She's supposed to be a
Yeah.
royal, but unfortunately, that North Node is in there. And
Wow.
so that's the word really for fake a lot. Not just North Node, but
Yeah.
um, also Neptune. So
Hmm.
I absolutely in the eighth house, we might be seeing his videos. 11th house is social media. He it looks like an opposition here with the South Node. Um, that is not being able to get rid of somebody. Okay, look at this. This is this is Hannah right here in the eighth house. And they are sparring. You can see that. So high percentage from the chart I'm looking at that this could definitely be somebody in that
Yeah.
realm. The Pisces, you never know, if they're legitimate or not. But with the North Node here, um, unless of course they come to this channel, but with the North Node, that is definitely fake. So we definitely have this T square. It's at the eighth house of the crime and
Mhm.
attempted an attempted murder.
Yeah.
Now, anything you feel like you want to pull on that? Or
Yeah, I do. I want to pull something around this masked this Neptune. The Fool in reverse. That is encountering someone reckless and unstable, and certainly not on the up and up, or as they might appear with the Fool in reverse. And the Three of Cups. This is, they could be witches around a cauldron. So it certainly could be somebody in that esoteric space.
so it could be a cult. I think they called it the twin flames, and it's so funny. Who was just asking me? I think it was my friend Antoinette. She comes on every once in a while.
Yeah.
She's on TikTok, and she's like, "What do you think about the twin flames?"
Mm.
And I told her I don't like it because it's definitely something that is used to manipulate.
Yes.
And especially when you're low and you're in a state because of a breakup or whatever, people can really use that to their advantage. And with the moon there, the conjunct Neptune, that could mean it could mean a cult that is well known on TikTok.
Mhm.
Definitely a clue there. Um,
And the Ten of Cups in reverse, related to that, it came out at the bottom there with that Fool in reverse. The Ten of Cups in reverse is like disconnect from family, which often happens when someone is connected to a cult.
whoa. Oh, Cody never does
We
that.
heard that. He never lies. He knows.
Oh my gosh. So, okay.
Ooh.
So I think we're getting to the bottom of something, and I'm sure that the police and the family are putting two and two together. But this is all predicated on her psychological state, has
Mhm.
to do with her relationship, and she's being manipulated.
Yeah.
Mhm. Um,
Vulnerability. Yeah.
yes, sweetly morbid bear. It's usually a negative, not a whimsically magical. Oh, you're talking about okay. She's talking about the twin flame
Yeah.
concept, and Nora says dogs can sense evil.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, yes, Buckeye Clay fan. I heard her flight to LA was late, so she missed the connecting flight. So she was
Mm.
expecting to go straight on there.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, she's sad. Somebody says, "Well, come on over here. Let's go to lunch. I'll take you to lunch over at the Grove." Not to
Mhm.
say that that happened, but I wonder if there was some kind of meeting there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll show the chart, and I'm going to go to the next one here. Yeah, that was I think that's the main thing that I saw there. That was the what's weird too is Venus, which shows her, that's squaring South Node, which is somebody who's stuck. She's stuck somewhere. And Venus in Capricorn is a woman who is depressed.
Yeah.
And so this person is just making it worse, whoever she's talking to. Now, this is November 8th. This is an important chart because this is really as she is coming into LAX. And so here is the victim. She's in Leo, and Leo is, Leo means sex. Leo
Mhm.
means family. Maybe her mind is on family. But so you're going to look at the sun here, and the sun is in the fourth house.
Mhm.
Now, the sun you called it. You didn't even see the chart, but you
Mm.
said, "Is there an opposition?" Yes, there it
Yes.
is, an opposition with the devil, and it's right on the devil degree, and so is the 11th house, and I think that's the biggest clue that we're getting here is that the 11th house of community, people on YouTube, people who are known on YouTube, and then you have Jupiter in the 11th house. So this guy communicates on
On.
social media. Not saying that it's, I'm not pointing fingers, but we are talking about somebody who communicates on, I think, social media. Maybe it's TikTok, but it shows a complete shock here. Now, let me also show you too that Venus is squaring. You can see this here. And what does Venus represent? Venus represents the fourth house of the endings, it's a home.
Mhm.
Venus also represents the 11th house, and it's in Algol. So there's somebody here that's the devil and is squaring Neptune and the moon in the ninth house. This is, again, a bridge. It could be a famous bridge. It
Mm.
could be a famous cult that is in the news. This is going to get a lot of press. Whenever we see the ninth house, it's always a ton of press.
Yeah.
And this person is trying to block the press. You can see that it's like, God, we don't want that. We don't want to be in the news here. But there is a struggle of some sort. Fifth house can show, Leo, lovers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think, see, I'm looking at Venus here. This is a clue, I think, with the square to Neptune, which is this, could be the psychic energy, fake psychic. But it's also, a famous place that, I mean, they've been talking about Skid Row. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so there could be some kind of drug element to it.
Mm.
Now, let me think here. There's somebody who's addicted here, and it looks like it could be this person online. Could
Mm.
we see if there is some kind of with this profile that we're putting together, could this man have addiction issues?
Mm. Let's see. Yes, an ingestant. I mean, this is Scorpio, so poisons, things you take in, and it's a man with Scorpio qualities. Oh my gosh, it's the same person. That Knight of Swords again, that Gemini energy. Neptune, yes. Drug of choice, multiple things happening with something that is poisonous or ingested.
Okay.
With the Seven of Cups.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a case that I think that obviously the police can solve. This guy isn't in his right mind. And you can follow him on TikTok. He's got a digital footprint. They'll be able to tell every time that he's not online, which isn't that often, which would show if he had opportunity or not. Nora, you said you pulled the death card, as you said, Scorpio. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
Angel
see.
D, I did get the Nine of Swords as well, so you're spot on.
Yes. Okay. All right. So the photo shoot, what's that about? Could we pull some cards on the photo shoot in New York if you get a chance? Something is screaming at me that it was a setup. I don't know anything about that.
Really? About his photo shoot. No. Oh, is that why she was going to New York?
Maybe, but I thought she was going to visit. Maybe she was trying to do a few things. But yeah, absolutely. There's some fakeness in this chart, which we can see. There is so much energy when it comes to photos. So we're going to see lots and lots of photos in this case, all in the news media too. Now, Meg, you said, can you see her dad in the chart? Yes, you can. What's very sad about this is we've got Saturn always represents a dad, and you can see there's dad in the 8th house, Saturn retrograde, and squaring the 5th house of family, just not being able to talk. So, and he just, disappears. That's this Pisces. So there is just a deep depression. It's possible maybe even sometimes people are on medications that make them feel extra low. So could be like something like an antidepressant or something like that, where it all comes together and causes Mercury representing the 3rd house of communications. He's unable to communicate. And yeah, so there's dad there. And then also the 4th house lord is the dad as well. And so there's Venus. So both planets that represent dad is, that's so weird. So he's squaring this person in the 9th house. This might show that the press are kind of like saying certain things about the dad that are not true. Maybe something that's fake there. But yeah, so with the devil here in the 11th house, we're definitely talking about somebody. And here, this is weird too. There's a square to the father. Now, I know this is probably going to add more to, stoke the fire of the father being involved. I don't think he was involved, but there is a square to the partner. I don't know what that means, but could we do something that has to do with why the father is squaring the partner? I can't imagine that they knew each other.
Well, and the 11th house is the airport where he was found, right?
Let's see.
Square to the 11th? Or would that have to be Uranus?
Yeah, the 11th house is the Aquarius house. And Jupiter in Gemini might be a lot of cars, so he was found in the parking lot. So that's true. Jupiter retrograde is at 20 degrees of, I think what this chart might show is that maybe he was online and the partner did not like that. Maybe he was talking, making theories, helping, and somebody was bluffed. I wonder, what this would make me think, and then I'll let you go because I know you're trying to ask the question, but
Yeah.
it almost seems as if somebody talked against him and started a rumor that had to do with her disappearance. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's so crazy. The first card that came out was that Three of Cups again, which can be gossip. This is like we're talking around, the coffee machine in the break room. And this Page of Swords in reverse is secrets or lies being spread. This is a rumor pull, these two together, rumors around a woman. Rumors around a woman. Let's see, one more. He knows something. The dad has some information that was a burden to him. That might come later. It might come later. That there's something that he's holding in or was holding in that was burdening him. The Ten of Swords, the Ten of Wands.
It's almost as if there was an attempt to communicate with this person and they wanted to block him, but
Yes, that's exactly that. Yes, that Page of Swords in reverse is not communicating or communicating untruth.
yeah.
Something not true.
And then, Julia said, I heard about dad being murdered, possibly from Roberto. That square with Jupiter, this could be, it's a possibility. It's a possibility that maybe dad, it was a blunt.
Yeah, we just got on underneath everything is the Death card.
How would you associate that with dad's death?
Well, just because we're talking about it, the fact that it comes up is just, I have to point it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Could we ask one more? And that is, did dad commit suicide?
Mm. Let's see. The Hanged Man in reverse.
No.
It is not as it seems.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the Death card on the bottom. So it's related to the question at hand underneath is the question of the query about death is that it's not as it seems.
Yeah, there's more to the story. You don't go and try to find your daughter and you're on a mission and then you just jump,
Right.
and that's it. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's possible because the Mercury retrograde, your mind is not in the right place. Nora says Hangman reverse can mean trickery. Yes. And
Yes.
Buckeye Clay fan, I believe the dad fell from the 7th floor of an airport parking garage. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're saying. And
I have not heard that.
no, Nora, death card. Yep, that is true. So, okay. So, Angel, you're asking, did dad arrange to meet someone, I wonder? So let me see. You can just see that dad, which is Saturn retrograde, is just not successful here. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. He's trying to communicate with the family. The family isn't, or maybe there's a family member that he can't communicate with. That could be Hannah, but Hannah's really the sun here. Now, let's look at Hannah a little bit closer. And Hannah's going to be the sun and also the moon, because the moon is usually somebody who's missing. And so the sun is here and it's in the 4th house. So that's the end of the matter. This can be in a basement. Scorpio is the basement.
Yeah.
And if something happened in a lower level. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Well, there's a long distance. It seems like travel here. And, Pisces would be at night. And towards the bridge, towards a place where there are a lot of drug addicts, which would be all that Pisces. And what's so tragic, and it makes me feel terrible, is that her dad is here. He's so close.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. So her dad is close to her, meaning that she's got to be close to the airport.
Yeah.
Look how close they are. So
Yeah.
maybe um, we could ask something like, and I say that to everybody who's tuning in. If we look at the moon in Pisces is good,
Yeah.
but so close to Saturn, which would be dad, they are in close proximity somehow. Oh, I wonder, because he was at LAX and
Mhm.
so was she. So maybe it has to do with the airport. But my question to
Yeah.
you is she, did you pull for another question?
Mm.
Okay. My question is Hannah near the airport?
Okay. That's a no. The Ace of Swords in reverse.
Okay. And I have a chart that supports
Mm.
that. I feel like she went west. Can we
Right.
ask the cards if she went west towards a body of water?
Okay. Yes to water. Yes to water. Queen of Cups, water. Temperance, water. Ninth
Amazing.
house, but it's not that close. I mean, nothing is close in LA, but it's not like right outside of the airport or near where her last location was. It's a little bit of a distance with temperance.
Okay.
But both of these are water. This is Pisces.
Pisces, yes.
Mhm.
As well as, the Skid Row. Everybody's talking about Skid Row. So of course, I think there's an unbelievable amount of people who live on Skid Row.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, was it like 10, 20,000 or something? When I read about that, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Seems crazy. Yeah.
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 So it definitely shows a lot of drug users in this area.
Yeah.
And there is a famous bridge, because the moon in the ninth house is gonna give us a clue. It's gonna be like the famous bridge, the famous highway. Now, there's so many actors and actresses and singers, which is Neptune and Pisces, that
Mhm.
it shows a lot of famous people around.
Right.
And so let me go to the next thing here, and that is, there's all the famous people. They always get press, which is the ninth house.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, if this, let's see, Aquarius in the seventh house, this is the airport. So Uranus is, she's at the airport. The devil is at the airport, really. But
Mhm.
yet she ends up in, it kind of reminds me of that one case where she met the guy, and she went in the truck with all of these guys, and it was a bar. I think it was in Alabama. It was a woman who had like 3 kids, and she had
Yeah.
just had a baby.
Yes.
Suzanne, I can't remember her name, but it kind of gives me that sort of vibe where she
Right.
wants to have fun, she wants to try to blow off steam, and then the next thing you know, something
Yeah.
shocking happens. Also keep in mind too, Mars is right here, right behind her.
Mhm.
And this is a man. This is a man with a lot of hair. Uh, it,
Mm.
it's also police too, and you can see the trine to her, meaning they can find her, and they are
Okay.
doing it in secret. We can't see them. The 12th house is the 12th house of
Yes.
secrets. So, what do you think?
Well, I pulled the Hermit in my initial spread, and it's an older man with lots of hair and a beard, which made me think of exactly what you just described. And they're a seeker. They're on the path. They're lighting the way. They're finding. They're a finder.
And that would be Pisces energy too. I mean, that's the name
Mhm.
of this chart, really. It's such a Piscean chart. You're going to see names like Fisher and Fish and
Mhm.
Fawcett. And, wait till you see this. This is going to come out. We saw this already with a couple of other Pisces types of themed charts.
Yeah.
And you know what I thought was also very interesting? You know how Koberger and
Yeah.
the Idaho 4 case, well, Gemini is Ko, it's 2. And we saw, you know, Koberger with somebody else featured in the news with his same initials, the
Yes.
Gemini, the twinning. So now we've got Hannah's name, which is Kobayashi, which is Pisces.
Right.
And it's kind of like there's Gemini energy here where there's
Mhm.
Ko. So are we going to see, I'm wondering,
Mm.
some kind of twin? We're going to see things that are twinning. I almost think that, this is something I wanted to ask you too, and then we'll go into the mapping.
Yeah.
Is Has this guy done this before? Is he a serial killer?
Hmm. The other thing I see with the Hermit right now, while I'm getting that question, is this is a guru, right? This is someone people follow.
Mhm.
They follow the guru, the leader, the spiritual leader.
Oh
Mm.
my god.
Let's see. Maybe once before. This is a Gemini card. 2 of Cups.
Whoa. Yes, I
2,
saw at least one other
2.
woman. I
Yeah.
saw one other woman.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and Ample
Yeah.
Spark, the PI the family hired is Steve Fisher. Are you serious?
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, Trisha Roberto also mentioned someone with a badge, I believe. I could see that. I could see that's like a fake police officer. That would be Mars, Trine, Pisces.
Right.
So
Hmm.
maybe somebody, having that trust factor, immediate trust factor, but really it was fake.
I think this person's in a relationship.
Ah,
I think they have a partner. I don't know about marriage, but they are definitely in a partnership. But, or maybe it's, I'm actually thinking of with these 2 cards together, someone that's like, oh, it's common law marriage where they're not legally married and they are definitely a liar.
okay.
They are like double life, double life.
Might have piercing blue eyes, might look like a fish, like the
Mhm.
eyes are like if the police have a lineup, look for the guy that looks like a fish, bright blue eyes or big
Mhm.
lips,
Yeah,
saggy eyes sometimes.
yeah.
And Heather, you said there are 6 bridges that connect to LAX. That's great. Like which one? Um, let's see. Buckeye Clay fan, the dude from the cult had long hair. I don't remember about a beard. He was shown in that news clip. Okay. Maybe we should look that up.
Look at that. I've
Um,
never seen the photo.
he was the PI for the Kylie Rodney case a few years back. Just a Twitter PI, though. Twitter PI.
Hmm.
Shauna says leader, yes, like a cult leader.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nora. Kobayashi means small forest. So that would be Taurus. And you said, even before we went on the show, you saw a lot of Taurus. So there could be maybe a forest by the water, something like that.
Mhm.
There's an earth sign. Yeah, Heather Fitzgerald, terminal 2, that would be Gemini. So, or is that the terminal she was in?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. So let me see here. Okay, now I'm going to go to. Okay, that was the main one. Yeah, it does look like it could be a fake police officer, or somebody who is an authority figure.
Yeah.
There's that Venus there, dark-haired woman. This could also show that another victim could have been a dark-haired woman,
Yeah.
because if you look at this as like the famous cult person, there's a square with another female. And
Mm.
let's see here. Okay, so this is what I get if I put the the chart on no houses. I look for moon and Saturn. The moon is if it's a missing person, where's the missing person? Or if the person is deceased, you'd look at Saturn. They happen to be, I mean, it's easy enough in the right place. So it seems as if this being the west would be the west direction.
Right.
Now, if let's say the victim was deceased, we're going to look at Saturn, and that squares Mercury. And so, with a square, like this is a bridge, which is Gemini up here. So that's two bridges, but it's possible that the perp wanted to go here and couldn't, so went somewhere else instead. I know it's starting to get complicated, but this sun in Scorpio, I think, is really telling us something, that she is in a low place, that it just seems like a famous place that she's near. And obviously here's the police. They're going to go right to her. I think they might have some kind of, somebody's trying to block them though. I wonder who that is. Let's see. Pluto is trying to block. So here's Mars. There's Pluto. That could be, I don't know who that could be. Somebody, this is Capricorn. That could be a lot of woods. It could be something. Oh, Nora, you were just saying, is there trash? This is trash. So they shouldn't go towards trash disposals. That's, or like dumps, county dumps or something.
Landfill.
Landfill. They should, there probably is going to be that featured.
Yeah.
But they're going to go around somehow. Maybe there's some kind of a fill that has to do with water. Is it like that would be sewer. Oh, and you and I, we both did that read with Caleb, and he was found near the sewer. So that could be a clue. So maybe we should ask, could we find a clue about Hannah near the sewer?
Yeah. Description of her location. That Two of Cups again. That's like the same, the twin thing. Devil in reverse. Oh, there's a card behind it. Yeah, this is like stuck in something very, but found because the devil is in reverse. This is coming out of something where you're very stuck and tight and small space. To me, I'm feeling like it's near a company. Like this is the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like it's a popular name of a company.
Definitely, yes.
Like a building that says Gemini Electronics or something. I mean, this is a Gemini card too. So it's like that twin thing, something that might be a company or a place that people work. Workers will find something. But the devil in reverse is definitely something coming to the surface, coming out of a place of being hidden.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Ample Spark. Airport security guy is actually a really good thought. Her phone pinged back there every day would make sense.
Yeah. More water. That Two of Cups, look at all that water behind her.
Whoa. Okay, so that could be the river. And it's weird that you brought up LA River, because what's the famous bridge near the LA River? That is the one that's featured in so many films, including The Terminator.
Yeah.
So the thing is, let's look at I'm going to just share the map real quick. And hang on one second. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay, so the problem with it being the 6th Street Bridge is that it isn't, I don't think it's west. Let's see here. All right, so there's LAX.
Yeah.
And I was just showing the Grove. That's where she went. She went way north there.
Yeah.
and I guess it's 25 minutes away. So let's say 6th Street Bridge. That would be east.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Street Bridge, California. Oh, the viaduct. Okay, the viaduct. And so LA is west of that. So you can see that. Yeah. So where is the LA River? It's up here. Okay, it's up there. But if it was west of LA, then it's going to be out here.
Yeah.
Let's see. How about I mean, what would you what would you call it? The county sewer or sewer? Let's see. That would be Scorpio.
Yeah.
And okay, so it's south, not 10 minutes south. So let's look and see what Doubletree.
Huh.
Hotel LAX. Yeah, I mean, if we really wanted to stick with the chart, it would be west. Yeah,
I
go ahead.
feel like there's two locations. Like, I don't know that there's a singular location. It's interesting. I almost feel like there's two locations associated with her.
Okay.
If
Yeah, that
they're
makes sense.
and they find it's like this, and then there's also this. There's two locations, maybe three, more than one for sure.
Oh my God, look at this. You know, it's so funny. It's like when I see Pisces, like a lot of Pisces, especially the moon in Pisces, that is jewelry.
Yes.
See that in my Elizabeth Taylor part 1 and part 2, the wedding charts. All she did was pose with giant diamonds her whole life. She had so
Yeah.
many Pisces. So here would be an example, the blue diamond jeweler. Of course, there's probably 1,000 jewelers around here, but here's a park of interest, I think, because we had Leo. So Leo can be parks, 5th house can be parks. So I think around here might be a good idea. However, that's still southwest.
Yeah.
West would be let's see here. Oh, this is like the hangar. This is the fuel facility. I don't think you can get in there though. Playa del Rey Beach.
Someone had a clue in the chat about a security guard at the airport who has access to airport locations.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
did get the Hanged Man. So when you said lots of Pisces, this is the Pisces card again.
Yes. Okay. And that was the card I got for the show, was the Hanged Man, which is
Yeah.
so, but you got it reversed. So maybe
For the father. But this
okay.
just came out right now when you were talking about her location.
Okay, good.
So Pisces is a clue for location. Could something with the word fish?
Yeah, fish.
The fish market, the Fisher's Wharf. I don't even know. I'm not in LA enough.
Yeah. You know, let's see. Well, let's look at it. Fish Street. I mean, that's a little too literal, but you never know. Street, Los Angeles. Mrs. Fish. No, that's 31 minutes. Yeah, we'll have to do some more looking around here, but if it is west of the airport, that is the ocean, which is Pisces. And keeping in mind too, she's from Maui, which is also lots of ocean, lots of ninth house. She's from a far distance. Let me see here. Let me go back to the chart one more time. And we're going to look at this. So this is something that this could also be a famous singer or a famous actor. It's kind of like a, well, it's funny I brought up Elvis, but like trining Scorpio. So could be a sexy actor or somebody who has scorpionic. This is the Kardashians, but
Right.
diamonds,
Mm.
lots of online activity, extreme fame. Saturn and Moon is kind of together. So
Mm.
that also means the color black. So it's like
Mm.
blackfish.
Yeah.
Uh, black, like trout. You could even say trout,
Yeah.
blackfish, um, trout. No, I don't know. We're going to find out, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
But it looks as if the police are going to find out what happened. I think they've got
Yeah.
a lot of power here, and I think that's all I wanted to cover tonight. Let me just look at the comments real fast. And if you guys are interested in a reading with me or Amber, here's some of the information. Let's see here. Okay. Thank you, Angel D. Fisherman's Village near Marina Del Rey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
Uh,
northwest, right? Yeah, northwest.
oh, is it Northwest?
Mhm.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Scorpio black again too. Yes, black hair. Black-haired singer, black hair actress.
Yeah.
So let me do that. I'm gonna go to Fisherman's Village, see if there's like the name of a famous person or something.
Yeah.
And the aquarium, good one. I know. I know we could talk all night. Paul Wog Lake, that's a good one. Let's see. Hi, Eileen. Thanks for stopping in. And we've got Long Beach is where LA River drains. Long Beach is south, though, but it has harbor bridges. Okay. Uh, Sadie, yes, the bridge is in Boyle Heights area near East LA.
A boil. Scorpio.
Oh,
Hmm.
sewage, Skid Row is there. Sewage out. Ugh, I don't even want to think about it, but good clue.
Yeah.
Northeast, yeah. Zebra Girl, you said Century Plaza Towers and the Twin Towers Correctional Facility. Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. Yeah, Nora, you were saying Scorpios, garbage, refuse, water, rats, washroom, stagnant, smelly water. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there are twin towers in LA. That's something to think about. I think we
Yeah.
got some good clues here. She definitely, I think, was coaxed by somebody maybe that she connected with.
Yeah.
But and then Angel, you said there was a massive sewage spill recently that shut 2 LA beaches.
Hmm.
So, wow. All right. Well, I guess we've got some clues there. Thank you so much, Amber.
Thanks for having me.
We will see you on Friday.
See you Friday.
Okay.
Thanks.